Welcome guys, welcome to the video by HackerEarth. Today we are going to be talking about Electron. Now, the coolest part about Electron is it lets you create desktop apps using web tech, using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And you build your app once and then you can package it for the rest 3 OSs that we have, right? For Windows, Mac as well as Linux. We are going to be making a music player and I'm going to use the awesome holler.js and Angular 1.5 for the view part of it. So how Electron works is it lets you create a main process, which is the heavy lifter of your application, and a renderer process, which is just the view of yours. So let me show you the different apps that are available with Electron then. And as you see, you've got the Atom text editor. That's the editor that I use. That's built on Electron. The Brave browser, that's also built on Electron. And just go through this site of the different apps that are built, and it's just awesome. The Slack desktop app is built on Electron. WordPress came up with their own. So to start it off, let's just get started with the app then, right? To start off, you just need a package.json. You give a name, the version, the start script. I'm going to be talking about the start script in a while. And you give the dev dependencies. So the dependency is going to be simple. It's just going to be Electron pre-built. And the version that I'm using is version 1.1.0. And the start script, you just have to provide Electron dot, which tells Electron that this is, I'm trying to load an Electron app. And my start script, or the main script that I'm wanting to load, is the main.js. Now let's just go ahead and create the main.js then. Name it main.js. Right. So in your main.js, you just have to provide. You start off with requiring or referencing the different Electron APIs that you have. So I'm going to use Electron is equal to require you, and I'm going to say app is equal to electron.app. So now what this has done is you have referenced the app API from Electron, and I'm going to create an object called the browser window. Correct. Now what I need to do is when my app is ready, I need to load an HTML, which is the renderer process for your application. So I'm just going to say app.on. So app on my ready callback, I'm going to use the main window, or let's just define our main window object. And to say main window is equal to new browser window, and let's just provide some properties on this. So the properties, so the width and height that you provide are always taken in pixels. So you can take, say we can define a width of 612 and a height of 384. Once this is done, I need to tell the main window where to go and look for the HTML to load. So I'm just going to say main window dot load URL, and I'm going to provide the file name, right? I'm going to say file painful. Oh, sorry. Right? /app /index.html. Right. So now what we have said here is I've said that you can load your index.html, which is going to be inside your app folder. And now let's just say that's it. Let's just try and load this then. And I need to create my app folder, which I've already created here. And you can see I can go and create an index.html here. And let's just go and put in some content in the index.html. Just say doc type HTML. Let's just close this. Let's just start by giving a title. Let's just call it music player. And let's just say this. Now, if you go to this particular location where you have created your app, if you go and see, you can see your main.js is created, and if you just do an npm run start, and it tells Electron where to go and which script to go and run. And now if you see, your main process has rendered the HTML and it says hello. So this is your first app. It just takes 2 minutes for you to go and start your first app in Electron. And that's it. So guys, we have created the first app. Now let's just start putting in more functionalities to it. Let's just start making it more like a music player. So I'm going to use Angular 1.x and the awesome howler.js library for your music player part of it. So before we do that, let's just load up the developer console as and when your application loads up. And I'm just going to say web content. That's it. Now let's just see if my developer console comes up. Yeah, my developer console is up, my app is up, and now let's just go and start putting in my application's requirements. So if you see, I'm using Bower for my dependencies. So I'm using Angular, I'm using Bootstrap, I'm using Angular router and Howler. And the CD wave is for the animation that we need to show when the music is playing. So let's go ahead and start putting in my application's requirements. So first I'll put in some style, which I'm going to use Bootstrap, Bower components, Bootstrap /dist/css/ bootstrap.min.css. Provide this style sheet. Yep, and don't worry about the max height, guys. This is I'm going to show you the style sheet later on. It's just to make sure that my content is taking the full height of the available height that we have. And max height div. Now let me go ahead and put in the script tags. Slash Bower components /Angular /Angular.js. Let me just copy paste these. I'm going to use Angular route, Angular route.min.js, and I'm going to use Howler here. And taste, it's going to use howler.min.js. And if you see, I've got to create my application, right? The Angular app. So I've got to provide some sort of an app.js. I still use app.js whenever I start making my app. and it's going to be in the root section. And let's just go and create another player.js, which is going to be inside your app slash, okay, it's probably going to take it from there, player/player.js. So let's just go and create a folder player, and inside my player folder I'm going to create a new player.js. Now let's just start putting in some content into my player.js. Use strict and I'm going to say angular.module is going to be player.player, and I'm going to use ng-route, right? Now I'm going to say I'm going to provide the config to this. $root provider, function root provider, $root provider, and yeah, here I'm going to use $root provider dot when I think made a mistake. It's probably going to be root provider, not door. All right, I'm a little dorky that way, guys. I misspell sometimes. Don't judge me. When /player, then you've got to provide the template URL. Template URL /views /player /player.html. Provide the controller to this. I think we are fine. Yeah, let's just create the controller then. And I'm going to put in scope $location, comma function, right, and just say console.log player. All right, so I've created the player.js here, guys. So I've provided my root provider where it needs to go and figure out what HTML to load when my Angular app is being loaded. And once my controller is loaded, I'm just doing a console.log. We have done all of this. Now we still need to go ahead and create the app.js. The app.js is just going to be angular.module player, and it's going to have ng-route, ng-route, and player.player. So that's the module that we created, right? Player. And again, the same config. We can probably just use this. config root provider, where when root provider, I'll just do an otherwise, and dot otherwise, you just go and redirect to /player. Sit, and I still need to go ahead and create the player.html. Right, and it's just going to be a div class row. Close the div, and it says hello. So now let me just go ahead and see in my if I've given the ng app. Okay, and here is going to be an ng view. Just go and start this up and see if we have any errors. Npm run start, and you can see my controller is giving me the console player, and my view has loaded up which says hello. So yeah, your Angular app is up, and which is getting rendered inside your Electron app. So that's great. Now let's just start going in and start putting in some more functionalities into your application. So here we are going to do a lot of things, guys. We are going to show you how to create native menus and add some click handlers to them, show you how to build dialogues where you can go and select files or folders if you need, and we are going to use IPC, which is an inter-process communication, so you to send communication between your main process as well as the renderer process. So yeah, we've got a lot to do, guys. Let's just start it off. And so we are going to start off with the main.js. And before we get there, we have got to go and define some objects there. Okay. Const dialog is equal to require. Yes, it's just electron.dialog. Fs is equal to require fs, and yeah, so once my app is ready, once I've done the dev tools, I'm just going to now create a native menu, and to do that we've got to define some template. So where template is equal to an object. Now the first object, the first entry to that object, you can keep it blank. So what happens with iOS is the first, take for example the Atoms native menus that you have. The first property into this object is by default given as Atom if you do not provide anything. So we do not want to touch that. We want to create our own menus, and that's where we are going to say label, and we're going to say sound control. We are going to provide some accelerators. So what does Accelerator do? It gives you some sort of a shortcut key to the functionality that your native menu is handling. So we are going to say command or control, so that it works for both iOS as well as Windows. Command or control plus O. So as soon as you press Command O, it's going to open the dialog. And I'm going to also handle a click to this, and I'm going to call open folder dialog. This is a function that I'm creating, right? I have to go and create this particular function. So as soon as you click that native menu, it's going to call this particular function, which goes ahead and opens it up. Now, now I need to load this template that I've just created. So So I'm going to call where menu is equal to electron dot menu, where menu is equal to menu dot build from template, and I'm going to provide the template that I've just created. And then I'm just going to add this menu that I've set application menu. So this should bring up your menu. Now on click of that, on click of sound control, I need to, on click of sound control, I want to open that particular function, or what I can do is I can put this inside a submenu. Now the submenu is ultimately an object, okay, which is this. Okay. Right. And on click of this, I'm going to call this, where I'm going to say dialog dot show open dialog, and I'm going to use the main window object because I need to tell for which window I need to open the dialog for, and I'm going to provide some properties here. Properties, and it takes in an array where you can provide what sort of folder dialog you want to open. Is it a file selector or is it a folder selector, right? And once this is done, I need to provide a callback which says, say, file path. So this is going to provide the path of the file that I've selected, and I'm just going to do a console.log of the file path here. So I'm doing a file path of 0 because the file path actually returns us an array, and the 0th element is the path of the file that you have just selected. Okay. Once we have done this, now let's run the player and see if we have any errors. And we just do an npm run start. So my app runs up, and I can go and select a song, and my main process should just show the file that I've selected. That's great. So I have the file that I've selected, and now I need to send this particular file path to my renderer process where I can go and play the song. For that, I'm going to use IPC, and to send your any object from your main process to your renderer process, you just have to take the object of your main window and just do .web content .send, and you need to provide some sort of an identifier to it. I'm going to call it modal file content, and I'm going to send the file path. So this is it. Now I need to receive this particular notification, and I need to play this particular song. So in my player.js, I have got to sort of define my IPC. So before I do that, $scope.music selected is equal to false. Then I can just say where, or I can just say constant IPC is equal to require electron dot IPC renderer. Now then I'm going to say IPC dot on. Let's take in this. Oops. Here, function, event, argument, and I'm just going to do a console.log here first, guys. So now we are going to see if we are getting any errors and if I'm getting the notification. So I load this, we are going to keep it here. Let's see, I select the song, and yep, in my, as you see in my render process, I'm consoling the song that I've selected. So we have done quite a lot here, guys. And now we need to initialize the howler object, and we need to go ahead and play the song that we have selected. To do that, what we are going to do is we are going to create a play button in our player.html, and let's just do it then, class row, and let's just provide a max height to this too. Max height, I'm going to call div class, call md12, give a max height to this too. And I'm going to give a div class button, and I'm just going to say ng show equals this music selected, and I'm going to say div play, and on ng click I'm going to call the play music function. I've got to go and define the play music function here. We just defined the play music function, but we need to define the song or the object that we need to play. So to do that, what we are going to do is we are going to say $scope.song is equal to a new howl, and it's going to have some properties where I just provide the source, and it takes an array of songs that you want to play. So currently we just have one song. We just say this. Now inside my play music function, I'm just going to say dot play, and that's it. Let's just see if our song is getting selected, and if we are able to play the song, let's go to true. And because it's an asynchronous method, we probably still need to go ahead and do a $scope.apply to reload or rerun the digest cycle of Angular. So let's just go and see if our song is available and if we are able to play the song. We just go select song. Yes, the song is playing. And now to get to the next part. You like the song? Great. Great. So now let's just add some styling to this. Okay. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder called style. Inside my style folder, I'm going to say custom.css, and let's just take the CSS. I'm going to show you guys the CSS here. It's actually taken from the howler.js player example that we have, and it just gives in a little bit of a styling to the application. And yeah, let's just go ahead and do see whether application takes in the style or not. For that, I first need to go and provide the style to this. Style/custom.css. Let's see if we have any errors on this, if the style is being taken. Yeah, as you can see, this it takes in a background color, and once I go and select a song, let's play something else now. I'm playing Stairway to Heaven. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. So with this, we come to the end of the first video. We have seen how we work with IPC, how to create your native menus, how to work with dialog boxes. We select a file, we send it to the render process, and we are playing that song using the Howler library. Now, we are going to take this application in the second video, and we are going to add more functionalities to it. We are going to add the next and the previous song functionality. You can select a particular folder which has your songs and create a playlist out of it. We are going to show a nice cool wave sort of a visualization when your song is getting played. And yes, that's it. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for being here. Come back to the next video. We are going to do a lot more cool stuff there.